There he is, Tom Cleary from Catamatite.
Catamatite, yes.
Murray under-18s, and picked 29 in the 2012 NAB AFL draft. And we're ready to go here in the big game between Carlton and Port Adelaide.
Well, they met last year, of course, in the last round of the home and away season, and it got the Blues into the finals. But a new season begins, and it starts with one of their recruits, one of 4 players who are wearing the Port Adelaide jumper for the first time tonight in home and away action. That's Jared Pollock, 2 newcomers and 2 ex-players from other clubs, with Matthew White also in the team. But the Blues quick to get it into the hands of Simpson and now Gibbs. And they're working the ball back through Jamison and across half. Kicked 5 goals through the 3 pre-season match. 3 pre-season matches for the Blues, which was as good as anyone else in their team. Opportunity for Curnow, 4th in their best and fairest. Gee, plenty of opportunities for the Blues, and eventually it's Garlick that slots it. And there's a whistle.
I think the ball was touched after it was kicked off the boot, so I believe it's touched. Yeah. Ball was touched? Okay. Yep. Score review.
What do you reckon, boys? Naked eye, I reckon he got it through.
Yeah, good luck trying to find a fingertip on this one. You might get a deflection.
Well, important that the umpire said that he thinks it is touched, so that means they've pretty much got to prove that it wasn't.
Touched.
Well,
is Thomas behind?
Yeah.
Behind Gray?
It's the next bit if we roll it through. Keep it rolling. Yep. Nearly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
hit him on the head.
Hit Dale Thomas. So this should be a point then if the umpire goes with it. It'd be very hard to pick anything out of there. Jared, what do you think?
Well, I think you're right. I think it got Daisy Thomas, and a good decision from the umpire.
The major one early, Jared, is Henderson has pushed forward, starting as a forward. We spoke about him pre-game.
Yeah, he's on trend go. He's had a limited preparation as well. So you've got an even go there.
He's played it as deliberate.
On another lack of preparation.
So Dale Thomas reverting to type, stopping Carlton goals, but
now able to control the dangerous kick back to Westhoff. Waite had a little opportunity, almost made the most of it, not quite. Wingard on the scene, but Carlton hitting hard. Dale Thomas, wouldn't he like to kick the first one after getting in the road of the opening kick? Dale Thomas.
Plus gets it forward. Umpire wasn't touched. No, umpire said play on. Handball forward from Gray was good football to Ollie Wines. Gets it to his captain in Boak. Close to the boundary line. White, his first kick for Port Adelaide is an absolute ripper. And Hartlett gets across and takes the mark. Will line up 50 metres out on a sliding.
That's their game there, boys, isn't it? That's their game. If they can get it out in open, Port, they can really run you into the ground. They can put you to the sword pretty quickly. If you get one lazy midfielder or one lazy defender, they make you pay, but they just can't get their hands on the ball at clearances at the moment. 6-1.
Nice kick from young Tom Cleary there. Didn't panic. His first, a bit of pressure there, getting his kick on the boundary line, but just hit it to the right spot. And as a result, Hamish Hartlett lines up. 35 metres out, slide angle. First shot at goal for Port Adelaide in 2014. And he makes no mistake.
Nice conversion, but Matty White was involved, King. It was an amazing stat you shared with us pre-game about his running capacity and what he found when he got to Port Adelaide.
Well, he's the #1 runner at the Richmond Football Club throughout his time there. Him and Dan Jackson clear out from the field, but he would be the #1 supreme athlete there, both for speed and for endurance, but he's not in the top half a dozen at Port Adelaide. That highlights their ability to just cover the ground, across the ground, all of them.
Gee, if Hamish Hartlett can lift another level consistently, Jared, they're going to have a very, very bright future with that midfield.
Yes, he's one player that can improve without doubt. That'll humbuck umpire, but Hamish Hartlett is being tagged, and being tagged pretty hard, and he has been ever since he really came onto the scene, but he hasn't had a great run with injuries, so let's hope he does.
Third go and gets it onto his skipper Boat, who's caught with the ball and dragged down, and the umpire says play on now as Yaron puts the afterburners on, gets it into McLean, over to Simpson. Simpson kicks long to Ellard in the pocket, who takes the mark.
And be lucky enough to get 50 here.
He's getting the 50. Just having that little shot.
Brilliant stripping work, Jono. Their pressure is absolutely superb. The run from behind pressure on both came from, as we see, the goals.
Off one step. Nice kick inside 50. Good use of the body there by Garland. It comes out the back of the pack. Will it bend? Yes, it will. And Ellard gets his second.
Skipper on a tight rein, but he still had 6 disposals in the opening term and done some good hard stuff. And the Blues fans will be up on their feet at quarter time. What an opening quarter. 4-4-28 to Port Adelaide, just the one straight goal. They dominated, had 18 more contested possessions, 6 more clearances, 8 scoring shots to 1, and they deserve their 22-point lead at quarter time. Wait, he's hunched at the back. Now Robinson ready to pounce. He's got a couple of metres on the wrist, which gave him time to line it all up.
Oh.
It was a good thing in the run.
Again, the setup by the ruckman was probably a bit too far back, but they got it eventually. Watson's kick around the body, cleared the 50. Now Port Adelaide have got a chance, but Murphy was fantastic. Held it up at long enough for everyone to get back. Corns' kick in. Up goes Schultz at the fall of the ball. White tries to crash through, comes back to Ebert. Off balance, he just slams it on the boot. How will it go? Beautifully it will. Westhoff gets an open goal from the handball of Wingard. Was good football.
You said Westhoff was a problem, Kingy?
He's a problem at both ends. He's such a wonderful player. I think we underestimated him for a few years. His last 12 months, I think he's come on the radar for everyone, but he's had a fantastic pre-season again. He just knows where the ball's going and he gets there.
Well, just to underline that point, last year 45% of his disposals were in defence, yet he kicked 31 goals, 26 for the year.
He had a magnificent year, as did Chad Wingard. But they got that from winning a stoppage.
Quite effective. Again, Westhoff and Butcher both there, and Westhoff marks. What is he doing playing on? He kicked the goal, but that's just crazy stuff.
Well, I think the bottom line, Hunter, was he didn't think he marked the ball.
Maybe not.
I think there was a little touch in it, but much better play from Port Adelaide, winning some of their own ball, getting it out wide, getting it into an area where they can actually use their strength.
Excellent work from Port Adelaide. And that's what you mentioned, the fact they had everyone back, and that's what this vision shows now, Jared. It allowed Monfries then to work up towards the football, put the ball into a dangerous spot.
So 5 minutes of play and Port Adelaide through Westhoff 2 goals. He was magnificent in defence in the first term, and he's been sensational in attack in this second so far, and they're back in the game. It's the skipper in the middle of the ground, Boak, who gets it forward again. Out they come. White has been a revelation in this second term. A long kick forward. Westhoff shoots!
Well, they're kicking with the wind. It's a 3-goal advantage left of screen.
They've had 27 disposals to 7 at the start of this second quarter, 14 contested possessions to 5, so everything has turned around.
And Kingy, that's exactly what you highlighted there at quarter time. It's gone the complete opposite.
So Schultz comes in for 3 goals in 6 minutes in this second term, and Port Adelaide are within 4 points.
Well, this is an unbelievable turnaround, Jono.
Yeah, it's a huge turnaround from a Port Adelaide perspective, and we spoke about the first 5 to 10 minutes after. That's a huge grab from Schultz after quarter time, because that's when Port Adelaide were looking for the break to reset. They've been able to do that. They've worked themselves out around the football a little bit better, and they're getting good ball, but the big forwards are actually competing a lot better now as well.
Warnock had a good run at it. Tommy Bell, he'll just crunch him. He tried to. Got a handball away. Curnow. And there's Port jumpers all around him. Bell again. Curnow. Oh, that's a great kick. How it got there might be a question, but there's no doubt about the kick. He tested the umpire, and this right to the edge of the square. Corns was there to take it when it hit the turf, and Ebert was running, and now Port can start to charge forward. They've got loose players deep. Shields, he looks over his shoulder, sees Westhoff on his own. Not a great kick. Oh. Walker came late and indiscriminate. Is it 50?
I think
Did he actually mark it and then get connected? Or
once we sort it all out, I think it will be. Justin Westhoff is walking to the goal square. He'll get his 50 and get the goal. His third for the term too.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like a bush ranger, and the founder of the Carlton Football Club 150 years ago was Redmond Barry, who sent Ned Kelly to the gallows. He got one too high, Ned. And so did Justin Westhoff.
Could have done with a bit of armour there, Ed. He comes in and puts it through. It's back to 11 points.
And on the back of this bloke's domination in this term, let's have a look.
Oh.
He did get the footy first in defence of what ended up being a pretty crude tackle or bump. But he also took his eye off the ball.
Have another look here from behind. Went for the sport. I'm actually quite comfortable with that.
He's been playing that halfback role during the pre-season, played each of the 3 games, so it's a bit surprising. That was a bad error though, and it's opened it up for Garlett to bomb it in long for Kuna, to bomb it in long and put it through. That's his second.
And in Carlton fighting back. So at the moment it's been a 4-goal to 3-quarter in favour of Port Adelaide, but Carlton going again. The handball comes out to Gibbs, who loves this, lines it up, kicks right through it and puts it through. Carlton back out to a 24-point lead, a game-high lead so far. A wonderful memorial on Saturday over at Adelaide Oval. So Warnock goes up, the ball flicks out, here's a chance. Around the body, I think it's going to be a goal. And I reckon it was Wines who got it. Yep, Ollie Wines kicks the goal. Badly needed one for Port Adelaide.
And that's why coaches hate speculators. They hate just blind handballs or blind kicks. I think this one comes out from a Carlton player.
McGuinness, I think it was.
And it was really just a no-look handball that has cost them a goal.
And punished in the right fashion here. An excellent kick from Ollie Wines. In the first quarter, he was probably the main Port Adelaide player that was competing, showed some energy, and at times kept them in the contest.
Looking at that replay, in fairness to him, I think he might have had Bell out of the corner of his eye, but couldn't hit the target.
Big win for Pittard there on the outer side because Carlton had numbers and they were swarming. Schiltz a long way from home. Montfrey staying down. Westhoff bustling, and he can't miss at the moment in the air. Westhoff just too strong for Watson at the moment.
They need to make a swap if they possibly can. Watson and Jamison maybe need to just rotate there if possible, because every time the ball's gone down, Westhoff has just been too good for Watson.
He's kicked 3 in the quarter, as we said. This is for number 4. And he's got it right that time. 4 for the quarter for Justin Westhoff, and they're back within 10 points. It's been a very high-scoring quarter, really, hasn't it?
It's been an excellent quarter of football, and you can just see that Watson, with no touch and feel, playing a little bit in front of Westhoff, but just has to get back, get some early body on him, take his line off the flight of the ball, and that'll then allow him to at least make a spoil or put Westhoff off in terms of marking the ball. The other one there at the back of the contest, Montfrey's all by himself, so defensively Carlton with a little bit of work to do at half-time.
Clear space. Homsch.
Over the back.
Yep, Wingard. He's got a couple of yards just to work things out. Schiltz and Gray. Gray's got a combat 2. So Schiltz is left standing with Jamison. The push, the shove. Schiltz goes to ground. Had to slab it out. Too slippery. Robbie Gray knows how to do that. Done it before. Does it again. They're back within 3.
Well, smart play in the way. Good kick from Wingard, who gets the ball into a dangerous spot. Identified where his players were trying to lead in. Schiltz coming in, smart forward play, just getting him behind the ball there.
Throw.
A little flick out. Lucky again, we've seen a couple of those tonight, Jared.
It's 1 each.
But you're right, now it is 1 each. And we'll see here close up. Yeah, flick up. That's a throw. But both sides have now been able to get away with one tonight.
So Jackson Treengrove, another Strathmore boy.
Move it on, play on.
This is as close as they've been since very early in the first quarter too, Port Adelaide.
Running back and forth. Corns threads the needle. Hartlett getting busy, finds some space. It gets 50 metres. So
well, this will bring him into within kicking distance. He can let one rip, this young bloke.
Launch it.
He'll be right in within distance, I would have thought, Jared. So the umpire goes over the 50, just inside. So it'll need to go 55 metres, Hartlett's kick. So he kicked one in the first term, shaping for the big drop punt.
Bobby's going down there to get on the line. It's good work.
Likes his chances. Nice build-up. He gives it a good kick. Look at that one. That has gone 55 on the fly. Did not look like missing. And Port Adelaide hit the front for the first time.
Just Lobby wasted his time.
He was wasting his energy.
Wasting his energy. Hope it doesn't cost him late in the game, because that was never in doubt. He was going to get it over the goal sticks. Only a question of accuracy, and he delivered. He's a beautiful kick.
He is a beautiful kick. We've seen him kick lovely goals at Footy Park, haven't we, in the past?
And there's the 50 there with Garlett just coming across the line, trying to protect the corridor.
So Walker brings the ball out, kicks to a 1-on-2 with the numbers favouring Port Adelaide. Schultz, his kick is a good one, and there he is again, Ollie Wines. Wow. He's kicked 1-2, as Jono said, and one of those points hit the post. So he's been right in the action. This young superstar who he thought would leave Port Adelaide after his first 2 years at the clubs, decided to sign on and stay with them, which was a tremendous vote of confidence for this young side. Exciting team, Port Adelaide. And Ollie Wines comes in. He'll have to kick at 40 metres on a 45-degree angle. He likes it off the boot. Look at that one. Spears it right through the middle. If you don't mind, he gets his second, and Port Adelaide go to a 9-point lead.
Well, this has been a great turnaround, only based on the fact that Port Adelaide are winning the ball. It's not tactical in any respect. Westhoff hasn't had a major impact. They've given the ball back on this occasion. Simply bad play from Carlton. But looking at the numbers, it's 18 disposals to 3 in this third term. So it doesn't matter what Mick Moldhouse.
The alternative he chose was Trengove, and it opens up. Carlton were busy making an interchange, and it left them one short as the kick goes from Monfrey's pinpoint into the 50. Ebert has the shot for goal coming up.
Excellent play from Port Adelaide with their transition there on the turnover. Jared, can you recapture that forward pressure, that was there in the first quarter from Carlton, which is what set them alight, got them a handy lead?
We're about to find out, I think, Jono.
13-6 last year for Ebert, no problems with that. And that's 6 in a row for Port Adelaide. Power lead by 16 is our 30-second focus with David King.
Well, I'm just having a look who can be the spark player for Carlton, who can give them a lift, and I've gone straight to Jeff Garlett, who's been well and truly clamped today by a first gamer in Jarman Impey, and he's had 3 disposals in 2.5 or two quarters in about 6 minutes of football. He just needs to light up. He needs to get rolling. This is a player who kicked over 40 goals last year. He's on a first gamer. It's time now. Carlton need him.
So Cruiser in the ruck. Trengove goes with him. McLean gets his hands on the ball this time to Everett. Twisting and turning it, goes for a big torpedo punt. He gets onto it too. White gets back and takes the mark. Good play. White read it off the boot, the better.
Well, if you can't be fluent, Jared, kick a massive torque, get it in deep and hope for the best.
When in doubt, long bombs to the square. Long bombs to Snake, Jared.
Snake Baker, 77 grand final for memory, Ed.
Yes, I remember it.
Seemed to work quite well. And I reckon he was entitled to use his hands a bit more there, Jared Waite, under the new interpretation.
He didn't want to push his luck.
No.
Big kick, this one. As we said, have not scored a goal since the 20-minute mark of the second term until that moment when Jared Waite gives the Blues a sniff. They just need to get some possession here, Port Adelaide. So Westhoff's gone back to full back now, Jared.
Well, that's their strategy, Ed. They lose the handle on their game plan. Westhoff goes back. They just try and hold it all up and then try and restart it.
Jamison takes the mark, and they've got some runners through the middle. Look at it open up, get it into Yaron's hands. That's the plan. Waite makes his move, but let's watch Yaron just steady and skim the ball through for a goal. And the Blues are back in a meaningful way.
Nice tap Beautiful stuff by Cruiser. Ellard's kick inside 50. Bouncing ball, always dangerous. On hands and knees. Did well, did Tringo. Now, Port Adelaide can rebound. Out to Boak. Boak and Simpson. Two hard men. Look at them going. Great stuff. Two of the champions of the game. Hard at it. He's pulled it back in. Boak is in trouble. He's gone. Gone he has.
Great contest though, both players.
10 seconds. Time for Yaron. 7 seconds. 5 seconds. Little chip kicker smothered. It comes down to Warnock. He launches a left footer to the goal square. And Everett wasn't able to get there. So, what a game we've got, boys. Carlton, 11-13, 79, leaded by a kick. 1 goal, the difference at three-quarter time. Port Adelaide 11-7, 73. Port Adelaide fancy themselves as the fitness fanatics who can run home in the last quarter. Under Mick Malthouse and David Butterford, Carlton, well, they reckon they've got something in reserve as well. We'll find out when we return. It's Carlton by a goal at Etihad.
Out Simpson, clever, they're ahead of the game there, the Blues, and Allard can run, escorted by the skipper who calls it in now. Mark Murphy, adrenaline really pumping, he's deciding when to give, he delayed it, Gibbs, and in the end they made a bit of a meal of it, the Blues, but Murphy went and recovered the situation. Cruiser likes his left foot to the square, and again a standoff, and it came off the boot of Impey. How's that for a youngster in his first game? This man out here on his own, the former Lion, Jared Pollock. Port won the battle against the Crows to lure him back. They had pick 34 up for him. Pollock heads for Butcher. And he, oh, did he? No, he didn't mark. Monfries was going to trust the left. In the end, he stabs it. It's mighty close to the line. And the Blues had it covered. Cruiser working hard at both ends. It's through for a minor. We're under a goal. The difference.
And they've got the big ruckman out in his own, but it wasn't a great kick.
Off hands, Pollock's got it again. Handball's inside. Eben, don't argue, did it well. They've got the numbers here, Port Adelaide. Look at that, Robbie Gray. Twisting and turning, swings around, left foot kick. It's an absolute ripper. And Port Adelaide hit the front.
Broke a couple of tackles, which allowed him to come up with one of the miraculous goals of the night. But it was on the back of Pollock, who has had a good couple of minutes. Winning the ball and hitting a target, but that was just magical, Robbie Gray.
It was just a kick out as well from Carlton. They had that opportunity to get the ball out to Warnock and go. The kick went a little bit inboard, allowed Lobby to get involved in the contest, and straight back in Robbie Gray. Great finish.
Kingy Mark Murphy, we know he missed the captain's day over in Adelaide because he had a bit of a back spasm and couldn't fly over. Is that what they're working on? Well, it looks like they're working on down there.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's his lower back. He's been here for 3 minutes, so it is some sort of concern. They need him out there in the middle right now.
He looked a bit sore when he was thrown into the advertising hoodie in that third quarter. Broadbent's been on. He has been a revelation. Look at that. The kick is a beauty. And that man, Robbie Gray, could kick 2 goals in about 30 seconds of play if he can slot this through.
The umpire not doing him any favours with the angle he's giving him.
No, but the bloke who's getting under their guard here for the Blues, and they're going to have to recognise him, is young Pollock, who's come from Brisbane, who's got himself fit, and he's probably Port Adelaide's best player in this term.
Averaged 22 disposals through the pre-season too, Jared Pollock.
So Robbie Gray, who's kicked 120-82, is a good kick. Comes in and puts it through the middle. That is a ripping kick. 7-point margin to Port Adelaide.
Well, the focus starts, Jared, in the middle of the ground with the centre clearance. We understand the importance of that, and it's been so important today. But this shows you as well here at the far end of the ground how Robbie Gray will potentially get free.
Well, there's the centre clearance, and you see there Pollock. He comes through, gets the quick handball out. Boat gets it, and then it's Broadbent, who's got really good vision. That is magnificent vision to Robbie Gray, sliding out the back, getting away from his man, and he converts.
Footy's so much about, as any sport, just taking your chances. And Port being able to do that in the last few minutes, and they're back in front. They lead by 7. Cruiser brings it to ground. And the grunt work done by Robinson, and here's Pollock again. Hair flowing as he streams forward, kicks into the 50. Here's the Hoff inside the arc. Shokes off Jamison, but no, he couldn't get clear completely. They'll go again through White. He dabs it into Schultz. And the former Tiger to line up for goal.
Centre clearances are slaughtering Carlton at the present time, in this last quarter only, but they've had free flow from the centre clearances and they've been able to maintain possession. Pollock again getting hold of that football.
I think they've made the sub down there, Kingy, the Blues. We'll get to you in a moment with all those details. Port lead by 7. And Jay Schiltz, a very, very reliable man in front of goals on most occasions, slots through his second of the afternoon and evening. And suddenly Port Adelaide lead by 13.
We spoke about their last quarters. Just as this quarter got underway, winning 15 last year, ranked 2 in the competition with a differential of plus 178. They're on fire early, but can't discount Carlton, because in the third quarter, Port Adelaide got out to a lead and Carlton just got their way back, stopped their momentum with some good forward pressure. So they need to win this centre clearance, the Blues, and then keep the ball locked in their forward half.
Bell was brilliant in the first quarter, Kingy, but probably hasn't had a lot of it since then. 15 disposals for the night. It's an interesting call, isn't it, from Mick Malthouse. Menzel's kick goals through the pre-season, so they'll be hoping he can do the same. Look at that! That is gone beyond the centre circles.
Jeff Ferry.
Yes, from Jamison. It's going to come straight back. Wingard up into the sky almost. Here's Pollock breaking through. What a recruit. He might well be for Port Adelaide. He's put it through. And suddenly they lead by 20 points.
All came down to the bounce, Jared. The big bomb out of fullback, and it bounced in Port Adelaide's favour.
Well, let's have another look, Jono, because I reckon there was a Carlton bloke knocked the ball backwards. You can see all the Carlton troopers, they knew what was coming. Now let's have a look to see if this ball gets knocked backwards. Aaron, I think, just going to try and knock it forward.
Yeah, keep the forward momentum going.
I reckon Pinnock might have got a bit.
Very effective.
He was pick 5 originally, and Brisbane just couldn't get on the field. Only played 16 games in 3 years.
The ball spills for Wingard. Beautiful kick to the top of the square. Defenders hate that one because it's in the air for an hour, and the free kick has been drawn by Robbie Gray again, who's kicked 2 this term, 3 for the game, and this could just about ice it for Port Adelaide.
41 touches to 15. Not only are Carlton not winning it, they're not tackling and trying to get the ball back with the same intensity that they displayed for the majority of this game.
That's 77% as well, which that's just fantastic effectiveness.
So Robbie Gray, 2 goals, 1 on the board, comes in and makes it 3-1. Make that 4-1.
Robbie Gray's had an impact in this last quarter. He's not alone, though. So many of Port Adelaide's guns have been involved in this last quarter, and it's just been their momentum going forward. We've mentioned their work out of the middle of the ground also in this quarter to get things going. The introduction of Broadbent at the right time has allowed them, has certainly sparked them as well. He's on 5 disposals since coming onto the ground as the sub, as the fresh player.
The scary thing is they've got control of Westhoff, who hasn't had an influence since half-time.
Able to keep it in his control. Broadbent just missed target. Now Watson decided to handball this time. He gets it back. Oh, no awareness. Hunter down again.
For him up the ground, Hutto. He looked around. He didn't want a long bomb. Carlton stopped running, and Port Adelaide are just starting to warm up.
And he's struggling anyway. Watson. Hutto picked it. He kicked the big torpedo, and he was limping around in the goal square. Westhoff ran him out, and on that occasion, he knew he was going to gobble him up. And the big Hoff, what a night he's had.
What a final term for Port Adelaide. They've kicked 5 goals, 5 to 1 point in the quarter. Westhoff just a couple of steps, leans back and sits back and admires his work as it sails through.
Well, it was the Hoff in the second quarter tonight, wasn't it, where he set Port Adelaide alight. His second quarter alone was 10 disposals and 4 goals. But and that's an excellent tackle there in this last quarter so far. Another 4 disposals and a goal on the board as well. So across the night, Justin Westhoff has been absolutely fantastic.
34 points the margin. Amazing comeback by the Port Adelaide side. David King, you'll have this one, mate. Tackles this quarter. Port Adelaide 10, Carlton 3. So not only have they dominated with the ball going forward, Port Adelaide, but when Carlton have got it, they've been right all over them. And that is a picture that tells 1,000 words. Look at that one. 3 onto 1 as Mark Murphy tried to get the centre break.
They know they're fit, Ed. They absolutely love the fact that they've got an advantage on the competition, whether it's a perceived or a placebo effect or an actual reality. It doesn't matter. The effect is huge on this team last year and this year, obviously, at start.
Walker can set up a rare opportunity for Carlton to take a mark in this last quarter. Adelaide had an opportunity also. They flick it out the back. That should be all right. And Garland puts it through. So it's back to 28. And still possible for Carlton that...
So inside the last 20 seconds of this game as Lobie bombs it in. Westhoff at the back, just let it go. Wingard, big flying left foot kick up to the square. Big chance here. Off Butcher.
Oh, he got one.
He got one. He didn't have to line that one up. He just had to put the boot into it. And Butcher kicks the goal to put the icing on the Port Adelaide cake.
Well, he deserved it, Ed, because he summed up the situation the best. He could see his teammate coming in. He didn't want to put two knees in his chest, so he just stayed down, and it fell for him nicely. Chad Wingard to the dangerous spot. He knows where they are, and there he is protecting his skipper, who went back with a flight of the ball.
So in front of a crowd of 24,640, Port Adelaide with a second on the clock. They're going to win this by 33 points at Etihad. And as I said, take the 4 points home to Alberton. And a great start to the season for Port Adelaide Power.
So what a win for Port Adelaide. They are desperate to prove that last year was no fluke, and they're only going to get better and better from what we've seen. And tonight only emphasises that. A terrific win for Ken Hinckley and his team after they were trailing at quarter time by 4 goals to 1, and they've come back and they've won by 33 points. They've won it running away, Jared and Jono.
Well, they have, and look, at first quarter it was all Carlton. They were excellent in the way they came into this game. Their pressure was extremely high, and then after that, after quarter time, the Hoff took over, kicked 5 for the game, 4 in the second quarter, and Jared Pollock was an excellent contributor as well, and he joins David King on the ground.